Hi, I'm Steve, and this is part 2 of how I fit the passenger rear jacking point on my Mark 1 Consul. The next stage is to patch this outer seal, then patch the inner seal, and then fit the jacking point. Before I cut out this rusty section that goes in here, I made 3 templates for the radius, and I made them out of thin MDF. So there's one for the left hand side, one for the middle, and one for the right hand side. Now the funny thing is that the left hand radius doesn't fit on the middle or the right. It seems as though the one on the right hand side is a slightly tighter radius than the one there, and I've tried this left hand template all the way down the length of this seal, and it's weird. It seems as though it varies all the way. When it gets to the very front of the seal, the actual front of the seal, the bottom goes away. So whether it was pressed like this when they pressed them out, or whether it was dollied over in the factory or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have to make a new patch with a larger radius on this side and a slightly smaller radius on this side. And to do that, I got a birthday present in my vice, and it's slip rollers. These are the rollers that I got for my birthday, and this is the patch, and it was too long, so I cut a bit off, and then I put this through, and it went through nice. But when I put this through, obviously, because it's wider, it's stronger, and it wouldn't go through at all. So what I've had to do is take off the platform, and that allows it to go up at a different angle. So now I've got it at the stage where these are at the lowest. This back roller is far down as it'll go, and it is rolling now. But I need a smaller radius this side and a larger radius that side, so I have to keep putting it in the same way. I can't turn it around. So now what I need to do is I need to turn this one up a bit more than this one. Okay, I've done it now, and the way I did it was gradually increase this back roller up every time I rolled it, and then I compared the gap under the left hand side to the gap under the right hand side, and I adjusted the roller accordingly until I've got it to the stage now. That's the left hand template on the left hand side. The radius is the same as the wood, and on the right hand side it's the same also. So that's done. It took me ages to keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. I finally achieved the radius I want. Now I will cut it to size and try it in there. For the last 2 hours I felt like Uri Geller. I've been bending this to get it dead flat, so I've got it level all the way round, and I put these hacksaw blades in to get the gap, and it's being held on by 4 magnets, and I'm ready to finally start welding spots around there. I've set up my MIG welder on this test piece, and this is what we've got here, because we've got 2 thicknesses, 18 gauge and 20 gauge, and that was a result. And I did this vertically and horizontally in the vise, and if I can do it like that on the real patch, I'll be very happy. And that was the setup of my MIG welder. It's a Clark 100. It's a Clark 100 amp MIG welder. I think they call them hobby welders. Well, I think there might be filler in this door because it's not sticking to the door like it's sticking to the. Oh, that's been filled. Oh, that's been filled there. Didn't know that. Well, I never. The guy, a friend of mine who did this, never told me he filled that. This is no good. No, can't have that because it cuts itself out. That's got a safety device on it. It won't go if you cover it. It's not what we want. I want as much air as I can get. This morning I've spent the morning putting stitch welds all the way round and completed that, and then I've ground off the weld with a angle grinder, and then I've got this torch. I've got this torch and shone it behind because there's still a hole at the back. I shone it behind there. And obviously there's pinholes, I knew there would be, so I'll put a red mark where every pinhole is, and so now I've got to fill those pinholes in with weld and then grind it all flush until it's absolutely smooth. I'm pressing the torch to turn the camera off. The welding is complete now. I've filled in all the pinholes many times and then kept shining the light behind there, and I've found this light. This is LED and it just fits in at the back, and this was gave a better light. One tip that I found, some people might not realise, is when I put the light in there and I'm looking from the top and I can see pinholes when I mark them, I notice that when I go lie on the floor and I'm looking up, I can see extra pinholes. So it's a nice little tip to look at all angles to find every pinhole you can get, because the aim is to have it watertight, absolutely watertight. You don't want any pinholes or anything there. The other little problem I've got is when I've tried these templates in, the actual radius isn't the same, it's actually moved. Before I ground it, I got that plate absolutely correct to these templates, but now I've welded it, it's gone flatter, so there's a gap. So this middle one here, there's a gap in the middle there, and I think what has happened is I left too much of a gap around there, and as it welds, when it cools down it shrinks, and it shrunk too much and pulled that flatter. There is also a lump there, so when I put a wall in there, like that there, it rocks. Now I want to get rid of that lump, because when I put the filler on here, obviously the steel is going to show through. I don't really want that, so I'm going on the internet and find out different techniques to try to get rid of that lump. And I haven't got anything to go behind it, so I'll make a dolly that will fit in here, probably about that wide or something, with that kind of radius on it. And that is just it. That's the end of this part of the video. Actually, I should have made 2 videos, because I only intended to make this a 2-part video, but it's gone on and on and on. I should have made this one part, jacking point the other. The next video I will be filling in this hole at the back. I'll probably only get a few shots of that. Try to make these videos a bit shorter because they're getting longer and longer.